Violet was walking out of the store with her groceries when someone suddenly tugged at her sleeve. "Violet, hi, how are you?" "Oh, Megan, you scared me. Everything's fine. Family, kids, just like everybody else. Listen, there are 10 years since graduation next week. All of our classmates are getting together. Are you going to come?" Violet didn't really want to go to this homecoming, but Megan was persistent. "Come on, Paul Smith and Gary Jones are coming, and Bianca Lewis, and others. Do you think your Stephen won't let you go? Want to let me talk to him? It's been 10 years after all. Violet, please come over for an hour at least." Violet promised that she would think about it, and after saying goodbye to Megan, she went home. In the evening at dinner, she told her husband about the meeting with her former classmate. "Stephen, I met Megan today near the store. She said a homecoming is coming up. All my classmates will be there. 10 years since graduation. Even Bianca, my childhood friend, will be there. Just imagine, she lives in Israel. I haven't seen her in 10 years. "Violet, honey, if you want to go, then go, of course," replied Stephen, kissing his wife on her frowning forehead. "Frankly speaking, I don't know if I want to go. Will you come with me?" Stephen was surprised. "Why? I don't know anyone. It's your classmates. Go, and I'll go with the kids to the park. We'll feed the squirrels and ducks there. That's it, it's decided. You're going, and besides, you have nothing to be ashamed of. Look how beautiful you are. Don't even doubt it." A few days later, the former classmates were so happy to see each other that Violet had already forgotten that she didn't want to go. She was having fun, laughing, joking, reminiscing about the past, hugging the school friends. It was as if Violet had forgotten that she had 2 children and a husband at home. When it was time to go home, someone suddenly called out to her, and that voice Violet could have recognized from 1,000, though she tried to forget it forever. She froze for a second. Her heart jumped to her throat. Her head was pounding hard. She had been trying all evening not to see him, not to notice him, but now she couldn't. "Violet, you're leaving already? But you didn't even say hello, and pretended all evening not to notice me." "Hi, Gary, and goodbye. I have to go home now," said Violet in a shaky voice. "Wait, please, just a few minutes. Tell me how you're doing." "I'm fine, like everyone else. Children, husband. What about you?" "I'm not too bad either. I graduated from university, got married. I didn't think you'd stay here. You had your best prospects. You were going to university." Violet interrupted him and grinned bitterly. "But I didn't finish school on time." "What do you mean? You were an excellent student." "Oh yeah, you didn't know. Your mother sent you to a health resort or some other place. You got sick all of a sudden, didn't you? And you finished school there. And now I see you're healthy and alive, so good. I'm glad for you. But sorry, I have to go. Family, kids, husband, work. That's how I live in this town." "Violet, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you. You stayed here, it's normal. Not everyone wants to conquer the big city. Many people prefer a quiet and peaceful life." "You know, I'm not offended. I'm happy with my life. I work in a pharmacy. I like it. My husband is wonderful. You don't know him. You don't know anything at all. And I know many things you don't know." "Violet, sorry, but what do you mean?" "For example, about how you and Paul bet on me. You were courting me so beautifully, remember, Gary? Why are you silent? Remember how even the teachers said what a beautiful couple we were? And your mother paled at the sight of me and kept trying to give me an F in chemistry, but nevertheless I was an excellent student. And if she knew about your bet, maybe she'd calm down. She'd understand that her son was just playing around and joking, nothing serious." "Violet, you've got it all wrong. There was a bet, yes, but we had a bet. Who would you choose If me, then Paul would give me his tape recorder, and if him, then I would give him my scooter. Yeah, we were fools, I agree. I had fallen in love then, really in love, and I didn't need a tape recorder. And then, after visiting the doctor, my mother suddenly said that I have a serious heart problem and I must urgently go to live with Aunt Kate. There was a university clinic with the best cardiac surgeons. Otherwise, the irreparable will happen. Violet, I wrote you letters almost every day. Only afterwards I discovered the truth, that my letters would never reach you because my aunt worked at the post office and gladly fulfilled my mother's request. What a fool I was then, waiting for an answer from you, hoping and believing. And then Mum came and told me that you got married. Violet looked into his eyes and realized that he wasn't lying. She had dreamed for so many years of looking into the eyes of this deceitful man who had left her and run away at such a difficult moment, cowardly hiding behind his mummy's back. And she, the defenseless girl, had suffered so much then because of contempt, condemnation, and ignorance. Suddenly Bianca appeared beside them. Oh, I'm going to cry. The swans are reunited. Come on, Gary, hug your princess. Why are you staring at me? It was me who set it all up, and I told your mother about you. Bianca, you're drunk, Violet interrupted her. Holy simplicity, what do you all find in her? And even now, cheap dress, ugly sandals. Ugh, Gary's mother told me to keep an eye on you, so I did. And you, Violet, though I was your best friend, but I hated you. And you, Gary, how could you choose that nerd over me? I was the one who told you about your bet. When Violet told me in confidence that you got her pregnant, I immediately told the headmistress and your mother. When she was deprived of her scholarship and kicked out of school, I was the only one who rejoiced, pretended to be worried. What a wretch you are, Bianca. Gary could hardly contain himself. He wanted so much to grab and shake that drunken body. As for Violet, she was standing with a proud smile on her face, and her classmates, who had run out into the shouting, stood in silence and looked at the raging Bianca. Friends, thank you all. I really have to go. And thank you, Bianca. I have a great husband and beautiful children because of you. The funny thing, you have nothing but anger. Violet, wait! Gary caught up with her, took her by the shoulders and turned her toward him. I want to know who my baby is. I don't know about your baby, but I have a daughter 4 years ago and a son 10 years ago. Goodbye, Gary. Don't do anything, please. It's all in the past. For God's sake, please stay away from my family. She walked away with her head held high, and Gary stared after her for a long time. Oh, Mummy's here. You're early. How was the meeting? Asked Stephen, looking fondly at his wife. Everything is fine, Stephen. Almost all my classmates came. We chatted, remembered our school years, had fun, and time passed so quickly. Cool. And did you meet your best friend Bianca? Yes, I did, replied Violet with a sigh. Did you invite her to us? She had come from so far away after all. You know, she's leaving for Israel tomorrow morning. Stephen, let's go to bed. I'm tired today. Clasping her eyes tightly, Violet wanted to imagine what it would be if... But she immediately shouted at herself mentally and forced herself to calm down. Everything was past. She had nice children and a beloved husband, and all the past should stay there. She snuggled tighter against the sniffling Stephen and began to make plans for the weekend. And somewhere in another parallel universe, happy Violet and Gary were sitting in their kitchen discussing the homecoming, and their son was sleeping in the next room.